Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from HoppouChan. I'm terribly sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Now he is in the Fiji, the Tier 7 Royal Navy cruiser. He is on the map Fault Line in a 3-point domination game mode. It's a Tier 7 battle with no carrier and very few destroyers and battleships. So mostly cruisers is certainly a plus if you're in a Royal Navy cruiser. So let's see how this goes. Now personally I didn't start playing the Royal Navy in the beginning, but with the Santa Convoy campaign I got the Leander and I've taken her out a couple of times and I quite enjoy her. Which is shocking to me, but I'll probably continue this line, so I'm looking forward to getting a Fiji myself. I've heard great things about the Fiji. Now here in the beginning of the game, HoppouChan is going, well, somewhere between points Charlie and Bravo. I assume he's mainly wants to be in a position to help out in the center. You can't get shots inside Charlie from here. There is an opportunity to sneak in through this gap if, well, depending on the situation. Usually this is the most awkward point to get. It's a lot easier to get points Alpha and Bravo, because there isn't much room to maneuver, there isn't much way to retreat, and if you take a big ship inside Charlie, you might just get caught by a wall of torpedoes. So let's see how this turns out. It looks like there are two enemy cruisers trying to sneak in behind. I'm not sure that's a great idea, but they're probably getting ambushed by HoppouChan here. Or if they actually try to sail through this narrow gap, there is a nice window of opportunity where they are very vulnerable to torpedoes and, well, broadside shots and can't really maneuver. So HoppouChan is positioning here nicely and he is using smoke because, well, he doesn't want any return fire. He is sitting broadside himself. And yeah. He's just demonstrating why it's a good thing in this situation to not be detected. Now this poor Emerald is gone. And let's see, the Myoko just saw that. Is he going to make the same mistake? Now also note this conveniently placed island that protects from torpedoes. So the Myoko might be tempted to torpedo the smoke, but he can't because of conveniently placed island. And so the Myoko is just turning away and retreating, which is a pretty wise choice. Now meanwhile the friendly team has lost point Alpha. They think nobody's contesting the center, so they should get that. And I don't know, there is some awkwardness happening in point Charlie, I presume. But maybe the friendly team will get the point. It's looking actually pretty decent. The friendly team is 2 ships ahead. It's not looking that bright capture zone wise, but we shall see. For some reason the friendly destroyer left the center. It might be that he was spotted, but it's unlikely because, well, unless you used his guns. No enemy is capping, so I presume there is no enemy destroyer around here. Also we see one enemy destroyer was here at point Charlie and one is at point Alpha, so yeah. Now HoppouChan is moving out again. He doesn't have shots on anything, so it's time to reposition. And hopefully he can get this Myoko. According to the minimap, Myoko is in a weird position. It might be that he reached himself, which would be pretty convenient. Unfortunately, this big island is blocking vision and shots right now. So I'm not sure what the enemy Congo is here doing in the north. Now being around point Charlie isn't that advisable in a battleship. And also, there doesn't seem to be any support. You don't want to be in a battleship all alone out there. HoppouChan is using his hydroacoustic surge here. And yeah, it helps him spot the Miyoko and hopefully ambush the Miyoko. I mean, the Miyoko now knows that there is somebody here. And yet the turrets weren't looking in this direction. And oh, there is a friendly cruiser who also came pretty close to torpedoes there, but worked out nicely. Now I'm not exactly sure what the Miyoko was thinking here. He probably should have retreated and maybe tried to support the battleship. Although, as I said, I don't think the enemy team is in a very good spot around here. Now the enemies have started taking the center, and there is a friendly force moving in order to, well, stop them. I think they might be a little bit too late, but it's not that problematic. They can sit in the cap and contest it, and if they manage to clear out the enemies in here, then it's looking pretty good. Now Hydro will soon be out, which is not ideal, considering that there might be torpedoes coming in. And well, there are a lot of shells coming this way as well. Now I would expect the Mayhem to have launched torpedoes, but this island should prevent that. You should also expect torpedoes out of the smoke. But again, this island is pretty conveniently placed, and well, there is one destroyer dealt with. Now he is using smoke here. And there is a Leander charging in. Or the Leander well, I'm not sure. He's probably going for that smoke screen, so he might not be detected for much longer. The New York is also a pretty nice target, since he is showing broadside. And there is a Belfast, and the Belfast has used radar. And yep, that hurts. Now the Belfast shouldn't have reversed around this island showing his broadside. That was not such a smart move, but thankfully the enemies were not able to sink HoppouChan here. He is on somewhat low health, but so are a lot of those enemies, and the island is doing a great job in protecting him. Well, I mean, and he is in smoke. But I mean, a Belfast has Hydro and Radar, so there is a chance that the Belfast tries something again. So you can't be too careless even if you're in smoke. There are torpedoes in the water towards the New York, but well, if the New York keeps sailing broadside on, we will be down before the torpedoes are there. And the enemy team has actually managed to get Point Charlie. They have... well, they are in the lead currently. And... yep. HoppouChan is detected here, his smoke is still on cooldown, and that's a Warships shooting at him. That's very inconvenient. Fortunately, these hits didn't do much, and he's pretty soon behind cover here. But there is a Confederate. He managed to get in cover, and maybe he can ambush that Warships with a few torpedoes. Now the friendly team is currently one ship ahead, but well, I guess they are soon 2 ships ahead. Now this isn't won by the friendly team yet, but it's looking pretty decent. I guess a lot of it will depend on what the Warships here can do. Yeah, he's using Hydro. Since he's sitting in smoke, he needs the Hydro to spot for him. Well, I mean, there is also a friendly battleship here, I guess, to spot. But it helps dodge the torpedoes from the sinking enemy cruiser. And... oh, there is a nice torpedo hit coming towards the Warships. Now he is reversing here, he doesn't want to get proximity spotted by the Warships. The Warships is taking blind shots here inside the smoke, and those almost hits. This salvo could have easily taken out the Fiji. And now he is charging in, I'm assuming for a torpedo strike, but it's not even necessary anymore. And that's a Warspite dealt with. Now only one enemy cruiser is remaining. And yep, this should be a nice win here. Now he can cap in peace, get a little bit more cap experience, and then the friendly team should be able to track down and sink the last enemy cruiser. HoppouChan is on, well, isn't that healthy, so it might be nice to wait for some reinforcements to arrive before he goes after the last enemy ship. Now, by the way, since we are watching here British cruiser, I've heard quite a few people complaining about the bug in the British cruiser when it comes to the smoke. It's not actually a bug. The problem is the smoke is just badly implemented, so you could say not ideally programmed. If your ship is moving faster than 12.5 knots, smoke is deployed behind your ship, and if you move slower than 12.5 knots, it's deployed at the top of your ship. And yeah, this can lead to a bit of confusion, and also two clouds of smoke aren't deployed too close together. Now, the enemy Graf Spee is certainly a dangerous opponent with those guns, and the British not having any armor. But then again, the Belfast has the Graf Spee doesn't have a lot of armor as well.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
And I guess the first torpedo salvo of the Graf Spee missed, but there might be another salvo incoming, since he turned his ship. Now in engagements like this, it pays off to hold your torpedoes until you are really close. Also, deploying your torpedoes often forces you to show broadside, which is not very good. Now, HoppouChan was showing quite a bit of broadside, but nobody was shooting at him. And as soon as the Graf Spee turned its guns, he also turned his ship. So nicely done by him. Now he is getting in close. He has his torpedoes ready. And yeah, the Graf Spee is almost down already, but why not finish it with a nice torpedo kill and a Kraken? Now let's take a look at the results. HoppouChan managed to get 2,329 base experience. Nicely played by him. So he managed to use islands, use his smoke and punish enemy broadsides, and played rather aggressively, and it worked out pretty nicely. Now he earned himself Confederate First Blood, Kraken, Devastating Strike and High Caliber. Scored 127,000 points of damage. And yeah, I found it a very nice game to watch. I hope you enjoyed watching it as well. And I'll see you guys next time.